I'm challenging you to make a choice right now to live every day for the next 365 days in joy. I'm challenging you to choose joy every day, all day long. You say, how's that possible? Well, I want to give you a secret to increasing the joy in your life, and that is worship. Worshiping God with other people brings us into joy. Now, during the pandemic, a lot of our churches were shut down. We weren't allowed to meet together. My church hadn't been able to meet for a while, and we decided to have drive-in church in the back parking lot of our church. We had a sound system, and we had it set up so people could get it on their radios when they drove into the property. I was up in a big lift so everybody could see me. Now, something happened that first day that we had drive-in church I will never forget. People started driving in, and many of them had tears running down their cheeks. They were so excited to get to worship again with the people of God, they couldn't contain their joy. When I would say something powerful or significant or good or funny in the sermon, they would all honk their horns. It was crazy. Why? Because just the joy of being together, even if we were separated by cars. Can you imagine what it was like the first Sunday we met together in our auditorium and worshiped God together? Worship brings joy. David said, and he was in a difficult season in his life. And he says, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. I rejoiced when they said, let's go together and let's worship God together. God has designed us as people to have a significant need for getting together and worshiping together. There's just something. I know we watch online, a lot of people watch online, and that's good, but there's something about worshiping God together. What is it? It's the manifest presence of God. We read in Psalm 16:11, David says, in your presence, God, is fullness of joy. God emanates joy. When we gather together, God meets with us in a special way, and we experience joy. Actually, secular studies have found this. The people that go to church regularly and worship God regularly together live longer lives. They live healthier lives, and they live happier lives. It drives the secular researchers crazy that church has such a powerful impact on these things. Why is that possible? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One is we get to fellowship together. There's something about sharing our burdens, being together. Your load is lifted. Somebody prays for you. Somebody prays with you. You get to fellowship with other people. You get new perspective on your situation. I love sitting in church, hearing the Word of God, singing the praises of God. It reminds me that God is big and my problems are little. I begin to see situations from God's point of view and not my point of view. I have new perspective. It's an escape. The world is wicked. The world is dark. The world is awful. It's full of lies. It drives you crazy. It defeats your soul. It discourages you. But when we get together in the presence of God, it's an escape from the world. It's a chance to be together with God. Another is hope. It just increases your hope. It reminds you that God is bigger than your problems. It reminds you that God has taken people through difficult things again and again and again. It reminds you you're not alone in this world. It reminds you that Jesus is coming again. It reminds you that there's a place called heaven that is far better than anything you can possibly imagine. And no matter how bad it gets down here on earth, heaven is going to be so much better, you won't even remember it. Let's get together and worship this Sunday, because worship leads to joy.